Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite Battle Royale tips and tricks video. In today's video, we're going to be focused on some tips and tricks on how to adapt and basically use this 7.40 update to your advantage, because this update is a pretty good update for gameplay, including different things around the zip lines, the shield per kill, the mat farming being a lot faster, as well as capping out at 500, and a bunch of other gameplay and weapon changes that have altered with this patch. We're going to cover a lot of it and give some tips and tricks and talk about how to win solo, or just how to be better overall and how to be a Fortnite god on this new patch update. Drop a like on this video. Let's go for 1,500 likes. That would be absolutely awesome if we could hit that. Also, big shout out to everyone using my supporter creator, the Goblin YT, in the Fortnite item shop. Big thank you to you guys. Much appreciated. Okay, let's get right into this and let's talk about it. So right here you can see me landing at Fatal Field, and I'm going to be sort of in this video analyzing this gameplay here, which was a nice win I got over on my Facebook stream, link in the description. It was like a 11 kill solo win where I didn't take too much damage, and the good thing about this new patch update is it really does change the game, and it allows for gameplays like this. An 11 kill win, you know, 11 is a decent amount of kills. It's nothing insane for a solo win, but coming out of Fatal Fields, when it's, you know, Fatal Fields isn't the most hot drop of a spot, it's a pretty good gameplay. And because of the fact that now every single time you are going to be killing people, you're going to be getting either 50 shield or health with this new update, this allows you to play a lot more aggressive, and also to basically multiply, and in those third-party situations, if you are able to get that kill converted, give you the health going into that next fight. However, one thing that I have found has been that's been very helpful, the new shield, and my tips and tricks for around playing for that is definitely just make sure in squads and duos you finish off those kills, because if you are in an intense fight, because that 50 health can be worth it by thirsting the enemy or whatever. You know, it's not the coolest thing to do, but getting that 50 health might be the thing that wins you the fight, so it might be the smart move to do. So it's sort of changed dynamics there. And even in solo matches, getting shield, you know, if you're at 150 health, you don't just have to run around the outskirts looking for a 50 pod or some mushrooms or something. You can actually just win a fight, or even third party a fight from a distance, and get that shield. So that part of the update I really do enjoy. The next part, and my tips and tricks for that, would just be get kills and make sure to convert on kills when you have to. You know, if you're getting pressured by a third party and you need that extra health, you probably have to push that original fight and make sure you are finishing off on that. But other than that, it allows you to carry a little bit less of shields. I've definitely spent a lot less time carrying double shields, although I'll still do it quite a bit. But you can run a sniper or a launcher, or one thing I have been running quite a bit lately is actually the glider redeploy, and then minis, and then I usually just get shield and health off of when I kill people, the plus 50, and then also usually their loot. Now, the next thing is with the materials. Now, with the materials, this has completely changed the game. You can farm up, I think it's like 40% faster. However, you are capped at 500 of each material, which may seem like a lot, but it really isn't, because when you have 500 wood and you get into a quick little fight, you're going to be down really quick to a lot lower of mats than you would expect. And my tip and trick for this is, number one, farming up is really quick now, so farming up to 500 wood only takes like 30 seconds, maybe a little longer than that. It depends where you're at, but if you're in an area with a bunch of, you know, good trees around, it'll probably take a minute or so, we'll say, right? A minute or a minute and a half or somewhere around there. If you're constantly hitting those trees, maybe a little more if you're going to full 500, but I'm talking about, you know, when you're usually, 150, I need some more mats, you smack a few trees and you're up to 450, something like that. So you don't have to worry about that too much. I think the key now is, back before, people would just farm up wood, sometimes some brick, you know, to get up, but usually up to 1,000 wood. And now farming up, everyone's gonna have 500 wood late game. And what's more important is how much brick and how much metal do you have. So when I'm in an area like that rock sort of bed or rock garden, I'm going to take my time there, spend a minute or two of my time to farm up and get more brick, because it's going to be worth it. Same thing with farming up metal. I am smacking cars, even if the alarms are going off sometimes. Every single time I'm passing by a bus, or, you know, things that allow me to get a good amount of metal or brick, I am capitalizing on those, because for the most part of the game, you're just going to be using wood. But when it comes down to the late game, everyone should have 500 wood, and it's going to come down to who has the extra mats above that. So those are some tips and tricks I would say as far as this update. And other things, playing aggressive like this is a great thing, where I can go into this fight, he hits me for around 60, I'm down to 140, I play the high ground and I get the elimination, and then here I'm gaining all of his mats, but and I'm also gaining 50 health off of that. And I think I also get like a glider reset, possibly some upgrades too, or I don't know if I get any upgrades off of that. So you can see how this update changes the game in terms of aggressiveness. And what this update does is it makes tilted towers and hot drops are a lot more viable, because sure, people will get more shield and health quicker off the start because of killing other people, but the thing is, you can do that too. So before, games where you go tilted and you find a shotgun but you can't find any shield, that really does suck. Nowadays, you find a gun, you get one kill on a person who had a worse landing than you, you're up to 150, you know, and then you're really, you know, you can get on a roll, and it sort of feels like back in the day, Modern Warfare 3. Leave in the comment section down below, did any of you guys play Modern Warfare 3 and experience the specialist bonus? If you guys did, drop an MW3 down in the comment section down below. And also, if you guys don't know, I also have a Call of Duty channel where I upload Black Ops 4 and other Call of Duty games. It's Green Goblin HD. Be sure to go and subscribe to that channel. Link will also be in the description to that. But basically, Modern Warfare 3, when you would get that specialist bonus, that's sort of how it feels on a lower scale when you spawn in and you're at 100 and you're getting all these kills off the early game. Even if you are taking damage, you're going to be stacking up that damage and also still finding shields and different things like that. So my tips around the update are, you can playing aggressive is a lot better nowadays, and it's a lot more prevalent. Farming up brick and metal is how you can really make, trust me, a lot of people are going in the late game and they're not maxed out on everything. You should be. If you watch pop-up cups, that's how people would play, that's how people would max it out, and that's still the way to do it in this game. And another thing I would say is also the glider redeploy is also a lot better now, because the glider redeploy is great for something where, how I like to use it is, because it's kind of slow of a redeploy for an escape, they can easily shoot you out of the sky if you are escaping from a good player, which if you're escaping from a build fight, they probably got high ground on you and probably a decent player, right? But with the glider redeploy, the way I like to use it is you hit some guy with like the AK or an AR from distance, or maybe even you hit him with a sniper shot, then you just build up and you fly right over to them, and then you get that kill, and you're stacking up and upgrading your guns, and also upgrading, of course, with getting extra health and shield, which when you're full health and shield, there still isn't that much incentive, because the thing is, in the patch notes, it said that we were going to get like 50 of each mats or something for every kill, but I don't think that happens in the game, and that's why, like, I think that would be cool as well. I mean, it's not that bad. The health is the main thing, but if you are max health, there still is pretty much no incentive to fighting other than upgrading your weapons or getting no materials or more materials, which are good incentives for like mid game. But when it comes down to late game, you want to get a position, play smart, and definitely be able to confirm the wins. And another change with this new patch that I need to talk about is the late game, the zones being further away but having more time for you to rotate. And that's where you get into situations like this where I have to make a smart rotation and I realize enemies are in front of me. There's still 5 people left in this game. This is where I realize I need to push this player, and this is where this comes in handy, because I'm 100, but I think if I do take damage from this guy, I'm gonna heal up for 50 if I get the kill. So even if he hits me for 100, I heal up for 50. It's not the worst scenario, right? You know, so different things like that. I'm doing a little bit of mental math when I'm going into those fights, and my tip for late game is you kind of do want to rotate early, but more often than not, I like to have jump pads late game or a glider redeploy if possible. I really have been carrying that a lot more with this new update and thinking that it's been helping, because you can people won't build as high because of the mat cap, and of course you don't really have to worry about how high you want to build when you do have that redeploy. So you can see here, I'm still holding high ground, but this is kind of risky because I am up at a pretty high position without having the redeploy on. So that's why I connect right here and just trying to secure myself a little bit. But this is what you want to be doing late game. You want to be holding high ground, because usually there's going to be a couple gamers late game and then a couple hiders and a couple people sort of just moving in with the storm. That's kind of how it works. Right here, this is something that I've noticed happens a lot late game also. And if there's anything that I've been having trouble with after this update, it's the late game, because I'm running low on materials, because I'm used to building like it was before when I'm going into late game with 2,500 materials or something crazy, or 2,000 materials, and now I'm going in with like 1,000 to 1,500. So being safe with your materials. And another tip I would say for late game, pay attention to when the enemy's materials shift, so you can see if their brick shifts over to metal, they're probably getting pretty low on materials, and you can take advantage of that. But definitely saving materials. I've had some situations where late game I've just been fighting a lot, and while the shield is great from fighting, if you're fighting and killing people that are also using their mats in the fight, it still can burn through your materials. Here I am in a 1v1 situation, and then once it comes down to a 1v1, it's all about patience. Right here, I make the edit, drop down on him, hit him mid-air, which can be a bit risky because he could hit me with like a crazy headshot when I'm flying down like that. But of course, if you hit him with the quick edit, usually you can catch him off guard. 11 kill win. Hopefully those tips will help you guys out with the new patch update. That's sort of how I've adjusted and changed, and how I think that this patch affects gameplay changes, and how I think you can dominate and be a Fortnite god on this new update. Make sure you use my code, the Goblin YT, in the Fortnite item shop. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.